Listen up, monsters of the Midway. Ryan Poles just made a gamble that could define Caleb Williams' future, and it's not what you'd expect. The question is, can a dominant Rome Odunze compensate for the lack of defensive line investment and protect our franchise QB? Because if he can't, that 28.2% sack rate could come back to haunt us, and nobody at Hollis Hall wants that. But hold on, because while Poles is playing chess with Caleb's future, he's found a hidden gem who could be DeAndre Swift's successor, an undrafted running back with the highest broken tackle rate in the entire 2026 draft. This guy doesn't just run, he demolishes defenses. And to top it all off, a quiet signing nobody saw coming. A former Raider arriving to solidify special teams, and even if he's not a marquee name, he could be the missing piece for this team's cohesion. Stay until the end, because the truth behind this last move will leave you wondering if Poles is building a champion or playing with fire. All right, bam, let's kick this off with the absolute gorilla in the room, the elephant, the whole damn zoo. Can a dominant Rome Odunze paper over the Bears' lack of defensive line investment? This isn't just a question. Bro, this is the question that's going to haunt us all season long, the one that's going to define whether this Caleb Williams offense can truly take off or if we're stuck in almost purgatory. We traded DJ Moore, a top-tier receiver who was Caleb's safety blanket, his go-to guy under pressure. Moore wasn't just catching passes. Moore was a bailout king. When the play broke down, when the pressure came, Caleb knew he could throw the ball his way and Moore was going to make a play. And now all eyes are on Rome Odunze. Look, I love Rome. We all love Rome. The potential is through the roof. A legitimate WR1 in the making. His physical talent is undeniable. The speed, the hands, the ability to win contested catches. But let's keep it a buck. He needs to step up, and he needs to step up now. There's no time for an extended learning curve. Last year, Caleb had a top 3 pressure to sack rate, right? That's partly because Moore was there to bail him out, to be that escape valve. This year, we're facing 4 of the top 5 pass rushes in the league. That means Caleb is going to be under constant pressure. If Odunze can't replicate that immediate efficiency, if he can't be that guy who gets open when Caleb's scrambling, who wins on quick and deep routes, who becomes a reliable target in third and long situations, that 10.8% sack rate could skyrocket back to his rookie struggles of 28.2%. Y'all don't understand how critical this is. We're talking about the protection of our franchise quarterback, about the trust he can develop in his primary receiver. If Caleb doesn't trust Odunze to consistently win, he's going to start holding the ball, forcing passes, and that's a recipe for disaster. This isn't just about Odunze's stats. It's about the entire offensive philosophy that Ryan Poles and the coaching staff are trying to implement if he doesn't become that dominant WR1. That guy who demands double teams and opens up everything else for the other receivers in the run game, then our entire passing game falls apart. Luther Burden III had a nice rookie year, sure, and he has flashes of brilliance, but he's not a WR1 yet. He doesn't have the volume or consistencies to be the first option. After those two, who do we have? Nobody close to that elite level who can carry the weight of the offense. If our receivers can't consistently win their matchups, then the offensive game plan, the whole elite offense, Poles is banking on to compensate for other deficiencies. It's all in jeopardy. The offense will become predictable, easy to defend, and that's the last thing we want with a young quarterback like Caleb. Think about our defense last year. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was screaming for Poles to invest heavily in the D-line. What did he do? Role players, depth pieces, and it worked mostly because our secondary was elite, compensating for the lack of pressure. That's the analogy here, man. An elite wide receiver room led by a dominant WR1 like Odunze could cover up deficiencies elsewhere, like our offensive line, which saw a significant change at center and left tackle, or even the run game if it doesn't achieve the expected consistency. It's a domino effect, and Odunze is the first piece. And let's not forget the contract implications. Odunze was the 9th overall pick. We passed on a dynamic pass rusher like Jared Verse for him. The expectation is sky high. He needs to live up to that lofty draft status. He was on pace for a historic season last year before that mid-season injury, which is a valid excuse, but that doesn't change the calculation for the Bears. He needs Jackson, Smith, and Jigba level numbers from last year, the kind that earned him Offensive Player of the Year and a massive contract extension. If he doesn't, If he doesn't prove he's the guy, the true WR1 this franchise desperately needs, the Bears might not even pick up his fifth-year option next May. That's how high the stakes are, fam. This isn't just about winning games. It's about the long-term vision of this franchise, about the validation of a crucial draft decision, and about the future financial stability of one of our most promising young talents. The pressure is immense, but the potential reward is even greater. Bro, but wait, because what comes next is almost as wild, and it's a testament to Ryan Poles' eye for talent and his philosophy of building from the ground up. The Bears might have inadvertently found their DeAndre Swift successor outside the draft. We're talking about Coleman Bennett, an undrafted rookie out of Kennesaw State, and this man is the kind of quiet move that can change the tide of an offensive unit. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another UDFA running back? Really, don't we already have Monangai as the future? But listen to these numbers, man, because they are insane. According to PFF, in 2025, Coleman Bennett broke 40 tackles on 133 rushes. And get this, he broke 13 tackles on just 18 receptions. His rate of 53 broken tackles on 151 touches, that was the highest broken tackle rate of any running back in the 2026 NFL draft class. Let that sink in for a second. Highest broken tackle rate. This isn't luck. It's not a fluke. This speaks to a combination of vision, strength, balance, and a brutal determination not to be brought down. It's the definition of running with anger. This kid is a tackle-breaking machine. While he might not be the explosive home run hitter like Xavier Thomas, who, by the way, is already taking snaps at running back even before minicamp, which is an interesting story in itself, right? A WR turned RB. Poles always keeps us guessing. Bennett brings incredible power and an innate ability to gain extra yards after contact. He's not going down on first contact, and that's a style similar to Kyle Monangai, our 7th-round pick from 2025, who we all know is the future starter and a power runner. Imagine a backfield with Monangai and Bennett, two absolute bruisers who just refuse to go down, who wear down defenses, who turn 2-yard plays into 5-yard gains. That makes our backfield that much more dangerous, fam, especially in short yardage situations and in clock control games. It's a running back philosophy that perfectly complements a young quarterback like Caleb. Taking pressure off him, look, there's a strong chance he starts on the practice squad. That's the reality for most UDFAs. But once Swift leaves, and we know that's coming eventually, Bennett could absolutely grow into a top 2 back on this roster, not just for his running ability, but for his potential on special teams, which is the gateway for many undrafted players. This is the kind of hidden gem, the kind of diamond in the rough that can change the dynamic of an offense without anyone expecting it. Poles is playing chess, not checkers, and finding guys like Bennett who fit a specific physical and play profile is how you build a sustained winner, finding value where others don't see it. It's a sign that the culture at Halas Hall is changing, focusing on toughness and production. All right, let's quickly pivot to some roster depth because every piece matters, especially on special teams, which are the heart and soul of any winning team. Former Raiders linebacker John Radigan has signed a contract with Day Bears, and while he might not be the headline starter, these kinds of moves are crucial for team cohesion. Now, Radigan isn't a household name, and he's not going to be starting at linebacker. Let's be real, his primary impact won't be on the base defense. He's primarily a special teams contributor, a gunner, or a coverage guy who can flip the field. He's only played 20 defensive snaps in his entire career, which underscores his specialized role. But he played 12 games for the Raiders last season, and he's been in the league since 2021, bouncing from the Seahawks to the Panthers, even a brief stint with the Steelers. That experience, that knowledge of systems and the ability to adapt is valuable. This is a depth signing, pure and simple, a guy who can come in, compete for a special team spot, and provide some veteran presence in that unit. You need those guys, man. You need those grinders who are willing to do the dirty work, who are going to fly down the field on kickoffs and punts, who block with ferocity, and who are the first to get to the ball. They're the unsung heroes who win games in the shadows. It's the next man up mentality that Poles is instilling. It's not the flashy signing that makes you jump off the couch, but it's a necessary one. One that shows management is paying attention to every detail of the roster. Every single roster spot, every single player contributes to the overall success of the team, and special teams are often the barometer of a team's discipline and intensity. So, welcome to the Windy City, John Radigan. Let's see what you got, bro, and prove why you deserve a spot on this roster. Man, what a roller coaster of emotions, right? From the make-or-break season for Rome Odunze, where his performance could be the key to unlocking all of Caleb Williams and the offense's potential, to the potential hidden gem in Coleman Bennett, a running back who embodies the toughness and determination we want to see on every snap. And let's not forget the importance of solidifying our special teams with John Radigan, because every yard counts. Every tackle matters. This team, bro, it's always something. There's always drama. There's always hope. There's always something to talk about, but that's why we love them. The future is bright. The questions are real, and the hype is undeniable. We're building something special at Halas Hall, and every piece, big or small, is crucial. Before you bounce, do me a solid. If you're still here, if you're still bleeding navy and orange with me, hit that like button. Let me know what you think about Odunze's pressure, about Bennett's tackle-breaking ability, or even who you think is going to be the biggest surprise this season. Do you think Odunze can carry the offense? Or that Bennett is Pole's next big steal? Drop your comments below, fam, because I want to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of this daily Bears content. Until next time, bear down.